What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
So the Nintendo Switch Pro was something that had been discussed and rumored for years and years and years. And we can see now that that never materialized. And that's a great thing. That's a very good thing. Now, you guys know that I've been vocal for years and years about this whole Switch Pro thing and how I didn't believe it was a good idea. And in hindsight, it absolutely would not have been. Now, people have wanted a more powerful version of the Switch for a long time, and they wanted their beloved Switch Pro. But the problem is the things that they wanted out of a Pro were pretty much just a next generation Nintendo Switch. And seeing as what has happened with these mid-gen upgrades on the other consoles, Nintendo not coming out with a proper mid-gen upgrade was pretty much the best thing that they could have done. Because, and I've talked about this in videos over the years, even before the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series launched, that these mid-gen upgrades were going to have a negative effect on the new consoles, because if you have a mid-gen upgrade, it automatically makes the upcoming system less impressive. And that's why we're seeing not only a lot of these cross-gen games across these consoles, but people just deciding to just stick with the PlayStation 4 versions of a lot of these games, even though the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox are widely available now. They're still choosing to play a lot of these games on the PlayStation 4 because they don't see the upgrade as that massive. And I love that Nintendo avoided doing the mid-gen upgrade, because these mid-gen upgrades are actually, they're sending a bad message to these console makers. They're pretty much telling them, by us buying these mid-gen upgrades and expecting and wanting these mid-gen upgrades, the message that we're giving to these game console companies is pretty much, yeah, we'll pay $400, $500 for your system. Oh, and don't worry about trying to, push the hardware. We'll happily buy a whole brand new system for that price or more in just a few years. So don't worry about, trying to maximize the hardware to its full potential. And then once you buy that mid-gen upgrade, that is not going to be pushed to the max either, because guess what? The next generation is only a few years after that. So we're pretty much telling these game console companies, not only don't worry about maxing the hardware, but we will buy 2 of your systems in one generation just because. And the fact that these other console makers are barely shipping any original games, that makes the pill even harder to swallow. It's like, yeah, we'll buy your system twice in a generation, despite the fact that you're not pushing the hardware and you're barely giving us any original games. That's a very bad precedent to send. And I'm glad that Nintendo decided not to go that route and just end up pushing everything in its focus towards a brand new system, because there is no real upgrade, a mid-gen upgrade for the Switch. Once we see the Switch 2 games in comparison to the regular Switch, it's going to be a massive jump, and it's going to be worth the money. Now, when the Switch OLED came out, the thing that I would have wanted out of that, at least, not necessarily more powerful hardware, but the ability to at least display the games in 4K resolution. But I guess Nintendo decided to hold that back in favor of the next generation console to make that leap even bigger. But I don't know. I'm glad the Switch Pro never materialized. or if it was even really ever a thing. Because when we finally get our next gen console, after Nintendo is, unlike the original PS4 or even the Pro, unlike these other systems, by the time we get our next gen system, we're at the point where we actually need a new system, because developers and Nintendo have actually pushed the hardware pretty much as far as it needs to go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section.